Welcome to the AskJunior Judgment Podcast. I'm Priya, and joining me today is Raj Malhotra.
Hello, everyone. We're excited to dive into today's topic, which revolves around a landmark case in Indian legal history, Mohd Ahmed Khan versus Shah Bano Begum, decided on April 23, 1985. This case is significant not just for its legal implications, but also for its social impact, particularly concerning the rights of divorced Muslim women in India.
Absolutely, Raj. The Shah Bano case is often cited as a pivotal moment in the discourse on personal law and women's rights in India. It raised critical questions about the intersection of religious law and civil rights. So let's set the stage for our listeners.
The case began when Shah Bano, a divorced Muslim woman, sought maintenance from her ex-husband, Mohd Ahmed Khan, under Section 125 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. This section allows a wife who is unable to maintain herself to seek financial support from her husband.
Right. And it's important to note that Section 125 is designed to provide a quick remedy for those in need, regardless of their religious background. The law states that if a person has sufficient means but neglects or refuses to maintain his wife, a magistrate can order him to pay a monthly allowance.
Exactly. And in this case, Shah Bano was married to Ahmed Khan in 1932, and they had 3 sons and 2 daughters together. However, in 1975, Ahmed Khan drove her out of their home. Fast forward to 1978, and Shah Bano filed a petition for maintenance, claiming she was unable to support herself.
This is where it gets interesting. Ahmed Khan argued that after he divorced her through an irrevocable talaq, she ceased to be his wife and thus was not entitled to maintenance. He claimed he had already paid her maintenance for 2 years and had deposited a sum of money as mahar, which is a form of dower in Islamic law.
Mahr is indeed a crucial concept here. It's essentially a financial obligation that a husband has towards his wife at the time of marriage, and it can be paid in 2 parts. One part is immediate, and the other is deferred, payable upon divorce or death. However, the key question in this case was whether mahr could be considered sufficient for a divorced woman's maintenance.
Right. The magistrate initially ordered Ahmed Khan to pay a meager sum of Rs 25 per month, which was later increased to Rs 179.20 by the Madhya Pradesh High Court. But Ahmed Khan appealed to the Supreme Court, questioning the applicability of Section 125 to Muslim women.
And this is where the Supreme Court's ruling became groundbreaking. The bench, led by Chief Justice Y.V. Chandrachud, held that the provisions of Section 125 apply to all women, including divorced Muslim women. The court emphasized that the definition of wife under this section includes a divorced woman who has not remarried.
This was a significant affirmation of women's rights, as it established that personal laws, including Muslim law, could not override the civil rights granted under Section 125. The court argued that the right to maintenance is a fundamental right and should not be limited by religious laws.
Exactly. The judgment highlighted that the law is secular in nature and aims to protect those who are vulnerable, regardless of their religious background. The court also pointed out that neglecting a woman's right to maintenance could lead to vagrancy and destitution, which society must prevent.
It's fascinating how the court navigated the complexities of personal law and civil rights. The ruling also referenced the Quran, stating that it imposes an obligation on Muslim husbands to provide for their divorced wives. This was a powerful reminder that religious texts can be interpreted in ways that support women's rights.
Absolutely. The court's interpretation of the Quranic verses reinforced the idea that maintenance is not just a legal obligation, but a moral one as well. The judgment also criticized the notion that a divorced woman should rely solely on her family for support, emphasizing that society has a responsibility to care for its vulnerable members.
And let's not forget the broader implications of this case. The Shah Bano judgment sparked a national debate about the need for a uniform civil code in India, which would ensure that all citizens, regardless of their religion, are governed by the same set of secular laws in matters of marriage, divorce, and maintenance.
That's a crucial point, Priya. The call for a uniform civil code has been a contentious issue in Indian politics, often met with resistance from various religious communities. However, the Shah Bano case highlighted the urgent need for reform in personal laws, to protect the rights of women.
Indeed, and the backlash against the judgment was swift. The Muslim Personal Law Board and other conservative groups argued that the ruling undermined Islamic law and traditions. This led to the enactment of the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Divorce Act in 1986, which aimed to limit the scope of maintenance for divorced Muslim women.
This act was controversial because it effectively rolled back some of the protections that the Supreme Court had established. It stated that a divorced Muslim woman would only be entitled to maintenance during the iddat period, which is typically 3 months after divorce, and not beyond that.
It's disheartening to see how legal reforms can sometimes be used to reinforce patriarchal norms rather than promote gender equality. The Shah Bano case was a moment of hope for many, but the subsequent legislation showed how deeply entrenched societal attitudes can resist change.
Absolutely, Priya. The case serves as a reminder of the ongoing struggle for women's rights in India and the need for continued advocacy and reform. It also highlights the importance of judicial activism in challenging discriminatory practices and upholding the rights of marginalized groups.
As we wrap up our discussion, it's essential to reflect on the lessons learned from the Shah Bano case. It underscores the importance of a legal framework that prioritizes justice and equality for all, regardless of gender or religion.
Well said, Priya. The Shah Bano case remains a landmark in Indian legal history, and its implications continue to resonate today. It's a powerful example of how the law can be a tool for social change and the protection of individual rights.
Thank you for joining us today on the AskJunior Judgment Podcast. We hope you found our discussion on the Shah Bano case enlightening and thought-provoking.
Absolutely. Until next time, take care and stay informed.